Masha here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to speak past tense in the Russian language. I'll teach you how to do this with general verbs, typical, and with reflexive verbs, and also saying was. I was doing something, we were doing something, they were doing something. So let's get right to it. I will grab my pen and we'll begin with just your general Russian verbs. We have 4 different endings when speaking past tense with these verbs, and there are 4 because we speak in genders. There's masculine, feminine, and neuter genders, and then we also have to include plural. So let us start with masculine. So I will just say am for masculine. If we're speaking past tense and you're using the masculine gender, the ending of the verb will be L. If you're speaking feminine gender, it will be L, A, la. Neuter will be L, O. Pronounce la as well. And then plural. If we're speaking plural past tense, it will be L, E, li, like that. Okay? So let's practice. Let's practice with this word chitat. Chitat. It means to read. Chitat. So for masculine, we're going to take the infinitive stem of the word and we're just going to add the suffix L. All right? So it will be, let's do this. Masculine, on, that will be he, on, chital, on, chital. Feminine will be Она, она читала. Okay, so you see masculine ends in a consonant, L. Here we're going to end in a verb for feminine, la, читала. Neuter will be no, читала, like this, ending in L-O, and then plural will be они, they, они, читали, ending in li. So that's how you would conjugate it using the word chitat, to read. Let's practice one more. Let's erase this, and we're going to use this word znat. Like this. Znat. It means to know. To know. Just gonna grab this, move it a little somewhere else so we have room. Okay, znat. On, знал. Он знал. Она знала. Оно, like it, saying it. Знала, adding an O. And then они, they. Знали. Alright, so here, again, masculine ends in L. So that's what we have right there. Feminine ends in la, znala. Neuter ends in lo, pronounced la, znala. And plural ends in li. Li. Znali. Они знали. And that is the general rule on how to use past tense in Russian. And then we do have reflexive verbs. So let's learn about reflexive verbs, how to use them in the past tense. You conjugate them basically the same as how we have learned. We will still have this el, la, li suffixes, but we are also going to keep the reflexive ending. I'll write it down for you. Sa and s with a Mackey's neck, which is a soft sign. These are the two endings that reflexive verbs will have in the past tense, in addition to el, la, li. Okay? In addition to those. So reflexive verbs, they're verbs that you use when you're describing doing something to yourself, like to dress oneself. This will be a reflexive verb. To dress is adevat, and if you're saying to dress oneself, it's adevatsa, and the sa at the end is what makes it reflexive, describing that you're doing this action to yourself, you're dressing yourself. So we'll use adevatsa as our example here. So let me write it down for you, down here. I'll try to do it neat. Let's say, adevatsa. There you go. To dress oneself. All right. So I kind of had to redo this. I apologize because my internet decided to go berserk on me. So I'm going to move this little endings to the left so we have room, and then we'll get started again. So on, he, we will say одевался. Он одевался. Alright, so you can see that we are keeping this ending L. I'm highlighting it here for you. And then we're also keeping or adding our additional reflexive ending sa. So to the left, to the right, you can see that that's one of our endings right here, sa, in pink. Okay, my bad. Morning coffee will kick in soon. So он одевался. Okay, она, she, она, making myself laugh. Whatever. Одевалась. Она одевалась. Like this. So here again, let me show you. We're keeping our la suffix to the stem of adevat, and then we are adding our reflexive ending sa with Mackey's neck, the soft sign. So to the right, all the way to the right, this is the second ending that we are using for reflexive verbs. Okay, so we have used both of them now. Let's go to ano. Ano одевалась. Okay, so here we have the ending la, and then with the additional reflexive ending s with soft sign. Okay, одевалась. Оно одевалось, like it was dressing itself. And then lastly, plural, они, they. Они Они одевались. One more time. We have oops. Well, I'm just going to keep it pink now. Okay, so we have li ending. And then we'll change this to green, I suppose. And the s ending for reflexive verbs. So он одевался, она одевалась, оно одевалось, они одевались. Alright, that is how you use the past tense with reflexive verbs. There's this other verb, it's called заниматься, and this is like to engage in an action or to do something. Заниматься ends with sa, it's a reflexive verb, so I could say я занималась. So since I am a female and I'm using the feminine gender, I'll circle the ending that I'm using for you right here. Занималась. Я занималась. I could say он, he, занимался. So then it'll be this first ending right here. Он занимался. Они, the very bottom, они, they, занимались. Они занимались. Спортом. They were exercising. I was exercising. So, just to give you another example, this is how you would use it. Okay, now let us move on to using the word was. I think this is important to learn in the past tense as well, because it's something we say really often. I was doing this, we were doing this, he was doing this. And the endings for was is going to be basically the same as we have already learned. So was is the past tense for the verb to be, and that is, I'll write it here for you, to the right, not the left, быть, to be, быть. And then in the past tense, let's say он, he, он был. Он был. He was. And you can see it's ending in the L. Он был. Она была. Она была. Ending in la. Оно было. Ending in la again with the lo. Оно было. And then lastly, они, they были. Они были. So the same endings as we have already learned. He was, she was, it, and they. And then if you're speaking in first person, say that I'm a female, I'm using the feminine gender, I will also use the same as она, as she. I will say я была. If I was a guy, I would say я был. Just the same as он был, he was. Or in first person, if I'm a man, я был. Okay, so for example, just really quick, I'm a really visual person, I like to write it out. I'm just going to get rid of this. So I will say, as a man, я был. As a woman, I would say я была. Я была. And then we also have они, they were, были. If we were saying we were, we'll also use this plural ending. And that is мы, we, мы были. Like this. Alright, so regardless if it's first or third person, you'll use the same for masculine, feminine, neuter, and plural endings for the word was or were. And that is the end of this lesson. This is how you use the past tense in the Russian language. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I, of course, really look forward to making the next one.